Hello again, folks, and welcome to Black Bear Outdoors. Now that we've taken care of our Velociraptor problem, it's time to get on with today's video. As you all know, we absolutely love lever action rifles on this channel, and today's rifle is no exception. Of course, I'm talking about the Henry case color hardened 4570 with the side gate. Now, Henry Repeating Arms needs no introduction. Named after Benjamin Tyler Henry, who developed the original Henry rifle back in 1860. They've been making quality firearms since about 1990. Now, they're probably most famous for their brass receiver rifles. They utilize the tried and tested lever action system, and they make absolutely beautiful rifles that function really well. They also do make them in lots of different other flavors. For example, the steel finishes, the all-weather finishes, and of course the case color hardened ones. This particular rifle is chambered in the 4570 caliber. Now, for you guys who are not familiar with 4570, it's been around since about 1873 and was originally a black powder cartridge. Now, the 4570 designation means a 45 caliber projectile over 70 grains of black powder. So for the time, it was a very powerful round. Now, considering all the innovation in bullet technology and smokeless powders, modern bullets have actually made the 4570 even more versatile and powerful than it already was. Even though the most popular grains to use in a 4570 ranges between 300 and 405 grains, I have seen projectiles as light as 250 grains and as heavy as 600 grains being used. So it's an incredibly versatile round. You may have also noticed that this particular rifle is wearing a beautifully made leather bullet holder, and we bought this from Stagecoach Leathers in Alberta. Now, they're custom made right here in Alberta, and they only use materials that they source from Canada and from the US. So if you guys want to check them out, if this is something that floats your boat, feel free to do so. All right, guys, true to old form, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take the rifle into the table, take a closer look at the rifle and the features that it offers, and then we'll take it to the range and shoot it some, see how it goes. Stay tuned. Alright folks, now that we got the rifle on the table, let's take a closer look. Again, I'm wearing my rubber gloves. There's no important reason for that, apart from under these lights, fingerprints are really highlighted on a firearm's finish, and that looks nasty, hence the gloves. Alright guys, so as per usual, let's start at the muzzle end and we'll take a look at the rifle. So you'll notice that the rifle has a front side blade there with a brass bead sitting on top of a 22-inch octagonal barrel. Now, as far as my understanding goes, the octagonal barrels were used in the Old West for guys to know when their barrel is aligned, when they're tinkering with their rifle. For our purposes, though, it's a nice thick profile barrel. It's 22 inches long. So when you're shooting bowling balls down the range like you do with these, it's quite nice for absorbing some of that recoil with the extra weight, as well as, in my opinion, it will lend itself to more longevity, right? Underneath the barrel there, you can see the loading tube, which is your standard Henry loading tube. So you can load from the front by twisting this and pulling it out, which reveals the loading port there, right? The fore end of our rifle here has got American walnut, and with some really nice, kind of aggressive-ish checkering on there. And the front side blade there is paired up with some semi-buckhorn sights that you can see is adjustable there for elevation. All right, let's take a look at the receiver. When it comes to the receiver, guys, you can see this has got a beautiful finish. This is the case color hardened, of course. And a cool thing about that is that none of them are actually exactly the same. So technically, you're kind of getting a one-of-a-kind rifle, right? Now, case color hardening has been around for hundreds of years, and what it does is, there's a few different ways they do it. Sometimes I believe it's with heat or with chemicals, but it does protect your rifle against the elements, and it looks fantastic. As you can see, this model has the side loading gate, which is really cool. because if you've got a full tube, for example, and you want to put one in the chamber and top it up, you can do that without any hassles, without actually putting your hand in front of the muzzle with the loading tube. Where the loading tube actually really helps out again is when you unload, so then you can just safely unload without having to cycle all your rounds through the action, right? Now you'll notice the Henry does not have a safety that's visible. You know, it's not got a crossbar safety like a Marlin. That's just personal preference, but I prefer the Henry method, that they have a transfer bar safety. Makes more sense to me. It's more comfortable to shoot for me as well. You'll notice it's got the kind of pistol style grip here with some lovely checkering on there as well. The trigger, guys, is phenomenal. It's really, really nice. I'll show you the trigger pull here. It's quite a nice little light trigger pull. Very crisp, very smooth trigger pull. Let's flip her over. On the other side, you can see that beautiful finish again. I hope you can see it in this light. Looks pretty awesome in my opinion. And it's got a slightly oversized loop, which is really nice for using it with gloves, for example. And if we move on, you'll see the American walnut stock, and it's got a nice thick rubber butt pad. Now that is important on, again, if you're slinging bowling balls downrange, that really does help with the recoil. It also has its sling swivels in there, as you'd expect. So yeah, guys, table-wise, that's pretty much all I have for you on the rifle. Now let's get to the important stuff. Let's go shoot it outside and see how it goes. Stay tuned. Alright guys, taking the rifle out to the range, I can seriously say that this rifle does have some kick to it. And it's quite a bit worse shooting it off the bench for some reason. So my first shot, you'll notice that I pulled it, that's just me. And the consecutive shots are more indicative of what the rifle is actually capable of. So we're going to be shooting at 50 yards, trying to kind of mitigate some of the human error and my lack of skill with a set of buckhorn sights. That being said, the buckhorns are quite accurate. Let's see what happened. Interestingly, guys, shooting this rifle offhand, which means standing unsupported, actually is quite a pleasant experience. I would say it's something similar in the recoil department like a 12 gauge shotgun, and you can kind of ride the recoil a little bit. Now, we're going to show you some offhand shots, and something very important. I've noticed people kind of double taking on the lever with this rifle a couple of times, and it's important because it's such a big cartridge that you're pulling from the tube and inserting into the chamber, is to fully extend that lever before bringing it back up, right? Otherwise you might catch yourself short stroking. Let's take a look how that went. So as you can see, guys, the recoil is there, but it's much more manageable and much more pleasant when you're shooting it offhand. Let's look at a little slow-mo shot here, and I'll show you how inadvertently you ride the recoil back a little bit and it becomes a push rather than a kick, right? So guys, just for fun, we decided to see if we can hit the little gong at 100 yards using our buckhorn sights, and the Henry did not disappoint. All right, folks, so there you have it. What a wonderful rifle. This is a beautiful piece of engineering. And if you want to use this rifle as a display piece, you certainly can. It fits the bill. The fit and finish is immaculate. It's an absolutely beautifully made rifle. It really works well also. So if you want to use it as a tool, as a utility rifle, go ahead. It's going to serve you very, very well. Now, with the versatility of the 4570, you can hunt deer, cougars, bear, elk, moose, velociraptors, freight trains, and a medium-sized aircraft carrier if you like. This rifle can do it all. And also, guys, let's not forget one of the coolest features about this rifle. Shooting it makes you 18.6% more Clint Eastwood. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed our video, were a little bit entertained or learned something new today, please give us a thumbs up down below, hit that subscribe button on the next screen, it's going to look like a Black Bear badge, and leave us a comment about your experiences with the 4570 and the Henry rifles. So guys, if you want to support the channel in a different way, we're also going to have a Patreon account linked down below, as well as the YouTube super thanks button down there. Y'all stay safe, and we'll see you next time.